Good evening and welcome to URT. You are the URT. We are the URT. This is the URT. Big up all the therapy army. United Real Therapy. Keep it locked. We're back again with another video, people. So please subscribe, like, share. Channel is shadow banned, but we don't give a damn because we shout for humanity. We will never be silenced when it comes to human, seeing the humanity of people, whether they're local, national, or global. We don't give a hoot. But big up to everybody. This is the part 2. Gary Neville. Gary Neville is official, people. Gary Neville is now the spokesman for Ineos. Oh yeah, you heard me right. You heard me right. Those of us who don't know, we did a video about 6-7 weeks ago on this channel. And like most things, we're ahead of the curve. Big up the community, big up the United Real Therapy community. Because we were discussing a lot about Gary Neville and how all of a sudden Ineos took over and he's all over silent. And then obviously breaking news comes out about the regeneration of Old Trafford and the surrounding areas. And obviously the glazers owning the land all around that part of Trafford Park in and around Old Trafford. Gary Neville wants to be part of it. Now, you have to say he's kind of clever when it comes to this skullduggery thing that we call capitalism. So Jim saw that, he realized that. He's only in it for vanity, people, vanity project in terms of what Manchester United are. He comes out and thinks, who's the number one guy who's got a massive platform that comes out against the Glazers? Gary Neville. I better get him on board. Get him a couple of apartments here and there. And now, people, Gary Neville is officially the spokesman for Ineos. Before, he was being silent. Last week or the weeks before, Ian Wright was trying to bring it up about what's going on, the mess Manchester United are in. And Ian Wright, I think, was going to talk about what Jim the Rats and the quartersexuals are doing, Dodgy Dave and the rest of the quartersexuals are doing with Manchester United. But unfortunately, Gary was like, we better move on to the next segment. So Gary, don't think we didn't notice. I know you keep doing it. You keep thinking we are stupid, but we're not. We're not stupid, Gary. We're not stupid. You forever insult our intelligence. We see what you're doing. We can clearly, I can see clearly. We can see clearly now. We can see clearly now, my friend Gary. And at the end of the day, Gary now has come out in one article and another statement in another platform, I think in the US, has come out and said, the first thing is that we need to give Ineos 3 to 4 years. 3 to 4 years. 3 to 4 years. He said, we need to give 3 to 4 years. Because I need my investment. I need those apartments. I like being part of this regeneration area because I know that everything around there will go up. We're going to get good transport links from the city centre. I want to be part of it. As an investor in Manchester, as somebody who invests and has got businesses, hotels, and has got restaurants in the city, I am the expert. Jim doesn't know. Jim's lived in Monte Carlo for so many years now. Tax dodging muppet. And when it comes to London, his team is Chelsea. He watches Chelsea. But anyway, those are the details, people. And Gary said they need 3 to 4 years. So Gary was directing all of his anger at Amorim. Well, Gary, who bought him Amorim? Who bought Amorim in? Did Amorim walk himself here? Who signed the players? Come on now. Let's be having you, Gary. Now, Gary likes to see himself as some sort of a champion of the working class. He was calling out the Tories. Everybody was calling out the Tories. Well, nothing special, Gary. He was calling out the Glazers. We were grateful to him. Those of us who are wanting the Glazers gone, right? We were grateful to him for calling them out and using this platform. But then all of a sudden, money got in the way, didn't it, Gary? Because all your working class champion BS, all of that, calling it straight out, mismanagement, calling it out, being strong, being forthright. All of that went out the window, Gary. All of that went out the window because Jim got on the podium and said, Gary, join me, lad. I'll give you a piece of the pie. Your construction company, all of that can get the builders to work, guys. Get the builders to work. We'll fit you for the bill. Greater Manchester. That northern powerhouse BS. That's the money's gonna come from to regenerate that area. So Gary never talks about the debt anymore. Gary never mentions Jim the Rat anymore. And all of a sudden, Gary's the spokesman. Another statement that he made recently, he said that that Ineos are doing their best. Somebody had to relieve the Glazers from what the Glazers have done to this football club. But unfortunately, they're doing their best. I'm like, doing their best? What are you on about doing their best? And then he went on even further and said, well, Manchester United, even though he said in the same statement, Manchester United has an oil tanker. They're very big, so it's going to take a long time to shift. You also said, those, as a working class man from Manchester, working class man from Manchester, you said, Gary, yeah, there's too many jobs and they should have made use of modern technologies, so they didn't even have all those jobs. This is Gary Neville, people, the people's champion, the working class champion, the guy who calls it out, who's on the side of working man and women. And a non-binary as well. I'm sure he is. He don't discriminate against people. So, Gary, why are you now happy with the sackings? By the time Jim's done, there's going to be over 400 people sacked, 80 scouts sacked. And all of a sudden, you're even saying, supporting him, going out of your way, going, well, Manchester United should not have had all those employees. But then 1 minute you're telling me the club is an oil tanker and it's so big, so fast. Another minute you're telling me, no, those people need to be got rid of. Make it make sense, Gary. Make it make sense. You can't make sense of it, Gary. You're a greedy capitalist, like the most of them. And don't forget, Gary, don't think it skipped me. I saw you at Davos. For those people who don't know what Davos is where the billionaires and the multi-billionaires get together and decide what the agenda is for the next year. Right? They meet in Switzerland, a place called Davos. Guess who was there a couple of months ago in Davos, walking around? You guessed it, the working class champion known as Gary Neville. So, Gary, we reject your working class champion card. It's been burnt, mate. We reject you caring about Manchester United. I remember most of us should have understood when he said, oh, I'm not calling out Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'm not going to call him out because I sat next to him for so many years. It's not personal, you calling him out. It's that he's the manager of Manchester United at that time. And he was making horrendous decisions. We were playing horrendous football. But there you go, Gary. I wonder what tape Solskjaer has on Gary. And now, Jim. Well played, Jim. Well played. Well played. Who do you gag? You're being gagged, mate. And you're not even being gagged. You're now parroting Ineos talking points. You're literally their spokesman. But Gary, the funny thing is this. Ineos are in bed with the Glazers. Glazers still own 42% of the shares. And still Joel is still the largest shareholder representing the Glazer family. He's the custodian. And without his decision, nothing gets done. So, Gary, the people you were criticizing and used to criticize, the Glazers, you're part of their team now with Ineos. Because Ineos have gone into bed with them and you're part of them. That's who you are, Gary. That's who you are. That is what you are. And by the way, unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to go to the demo against Arsenal because I don't think I'll be in the country. But I wouldn't even go to that demo if it's not Ineos out on Glazers out. I'm not here for full sale. Yes, full sale from the Glazers and Ineos, not just from the Glazers. Because I don't want Ineos to be anywhere near this football club. I want both of them gone. That's what we want. So the working class champion that used to be so helping out the next, the working man and the working woman and the working people in this country, Gary Neville is now part of it. He's not just been silent for a while. Jim has put him to task to get him out there to spread Ineos indoctrination. And most of you are going to swallow it. I hope you don't. I hope you join the army. URT army, who are we? And I hope you stay informed how these clowns, what they're doing to this football club. But big up to every one of you. Free Palestine, free Lebanon, free the Congo, free Sudan, free Tigray, free Haiti. Free them all. Anybody, whether they're oppressed locally, nationally, or globally, because of their religion, because of their orientation, because of their gender. We don't stand for that. We see the humanity in everybody. We know better than nobody. So F the Zionists, wherever they are, calling out the Muslim Zionists, the Christian Zionists, the atheist Zionists, calling them out, because there's more of them than there are of Jewish Zionists. Go and educate yourself. The state of Israel does not represent the Jewish people. They do not speak for the Jewish people. Zionists, they speak for Zionists, and Zionists from all colors and creed, from everywhere. It's an ideology, it's a political ideology. Educate yourselves, people. But fuck imperialism, fuck the colonizers wherever they are in this world, fuck the military complex. We keep it 100 on this channel. We're still shadow banned, so please share, like, subscribe to the channel. This has been Gary Compromised Part 2, brought to you by URT Productions, South Central Money. Take care, people. Share the video, subscribe to the channel. And like I said, we were way ahead of the curve because 7 weeks ago, we did a video breaking it down for people. And now people have watched that video and are now bigger platform than this, making videos about Gary Neville. But anyway, it is what it is, people. Enjoy the Champions League. Enjoy the Champions League. Enjoy the Champions League. Love and light, people. Big up. By the way, the club is in serious trouble. And who's been calling it? Who's been arguing with people in spaces? Who's been trying to cultivate a community? This channel keeps it 100%. I don't ask you to become a member. I'm not asking you. I'm just asking you to smash the like on the video and subscribe. And let me know in the comments if you want this short form videos done for the channel. Peace. Take care, people. Free Palestine 24/7, 7 days a week, every second of every day. Peace, love, light. F the Glazers, F Ineos. And if you want to be down with them too, F you too. We're out.